Hi, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to start to remove the front suspension. Let's go on to the other side over here real quick. I don't know if your camera will pick this up, but this side's leaking. You can see it right here, all the oil deposits. They need to go. Okay, so in order to get to the front suspension and replace the rings that are leaking up there, I have to remove the brake. I have to remove the the wheel. In order to remove the wheel, I have to loosen these bolts right here. And since this is dual disc brake, I have to do the same thing to this side and also loosen these. Then I have to remove the speedo cable. And yeah, let's see how this goes. I don't know if I should videotape all of this or not. I'm not going to. Might just record in between once I've removed everything and show you guys the next step. I think that's how I'm going to do it because it's pretty self-explanatory. Loosen these bolts, pull out the axle, all that good stuff. But in order to get even started, you guys definitely are going to need a front center stand. In order to lift the wheel off the ground, you're going to need either a homemade rear stand, or you're going to have to buy one, or else the bike is not going to balance itself on the front and it will fall over. I've chosen, like I said in the previous video, to build myself one rather than spend another €100 for a rear stand, and this works. So let's get started. So in order to remove, the front wheel has to go off. Has to be a little bit. I'll cut that there. Okay. Go ahead and remove the speedo cable. It's gonna go fairly quickly. There it goes. Out it comes. Then let's see. Allen key. This is a metric 8mm. We can start removing it. Once you've removed these, try not to touch the brakes. Because the calipers will push themselves inward if you touch the front brake. Then you'll have to redo everything from the beginning. Take the entire caliper apart, push everything open, etc., 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 etc. So this is the easiest way. Is just to pull it off. And hopefully you won't have to take the entire caliper apart in the end to get it back on there. Remove the bolts here. Wow, these are pretty stuck on there. I'll always leave them on there till I get my rubber mallet so I can bounce these back a little bit. I'll do the other side real quick. Same procedure. Basically. Loosen the bolts. If you don't have a ratchet, you can also just use plain Allen keys. I just prefer this method because I have limited space here. 1. Bolt 2. Gotta wiggle around the little caliper a little bit here. Just there we go, and off it comes. And you can also at the same time inspect the entire caliper. It looks like I might actually still take these off completely. I'm gonna let them hang like this because I am expecting new brake lines. So I'm not all too worried about them. But I'll be damned if I can get this one off. Okay, it took a little bit of persuasion. I have that removed. Okay, now go ahead and grab, looks like 6mm. This should be 6mm, yep. 6mm Allen. Go ahead and loosen those up. There's clamping bolts. Do this on both sides. And all you have to do, technically speaking, is remove the axle. Now, when you guys have removed the tire and the rim and everything, do not lay it on its side. Try to lean it against the wall so it hits the tire, because you have brake discs, and if you damage those or you bend them, you cannot use them anymore. So always best just to have them lean against the wall, or maybe you have a balancer where you can balance out your new tires. Then I would suggest just having that, put the rod through there and have it sit there on the balancer. Just to protect the discs. You don't want to damage those. And these bolts still look good. And I'm just gonna. Okay, next you're going to need a 17mm Allen key. And my ratchet. Put that back. See what I need on the other side. Holy moly. It's going to be interesting. There we go. Just had to apply a little bit of pressure. Now mind you guys, I'm actually doing this for the first time on this sport bike. I have no real knowledge of what I'm supposed to look out for. I'm not a professional. I just basically do this as a hobby. And let's see if we can put this back on just a tiny bit. Grab a mallet and pop the axle through to the other side. Yep, there it goes. That definitely helped some. Back this out a little bit more. Yep, okay. Now I got enough to probably grab it. Okay, so that's out. See if we can grab the other side here. And if not, there's always plan B. That is, find something that you can use in order to push the axle through to the other side. We have to find something here. Let's see if this fits. Yeah. This be better. Yes, would definitely be better. And then give it. I mean, it needs to fit on the axle without damaging it. So I can. Give it a couple whacks. Oh, this would help if I would have that big of an Allen key, but I don't. So let's see what else I can do here. I'll be back when I have this bolt out. So here we have the other side, and as you can see, nothing I do, this won't budge. But that's why I stopped filming. I'm gonna put it back in and see if I can get the budge out the second time around. Like I said, this would be easier if I had someone who could hold the tire and at the same time knock on the other side while someone pulls here in order to just get it with one thrust, pull it out. So if you have someone out there that can help you in this task, use that person. I'm gonna do it the hard way around, I guess. And like I said, I'll show you guys as soon as I have everything out. Okay, here we go. I have it out. Can now turn it by myself. And I'm gonna place the camera again so you guys can see me taking out the tire. So here you guys go. I've now managed to pull this out. Only took a couple more minutes. And yeah, I'm gonna place the camera to the side now and take out the front tire or front wheel. Ta-da! One front tire. Now, the important thing is to make sure that these things stay where they're supposed to. And this needs to catch in there somewhere again. Or at least it should. Yep, I think that's caught in there. Best thing is to do is leave that in there. Go ahead, because you also have loose parts on this side, go ahead and stick the axle back in. Go ahead and place the other side of the axle back on there. This really needs, and it needs to be clean, so this is something that I'll do before I put everything back together. Now your parts can't disappear on you. Go ahead and place the tire. If you have a tire stand, your tire stand. I don't have a tire stand, so I'm just going to use my front wheel holder that I've built, also myself. And yeah, I still have to go do some other things, but as you guys can see now, we're getting one step closer to actually removing the front shocks, and you can really see how the oil is leaking. I'm gonna have to clean my hands real quick, but I'm gonna show you guys how badly that's actually leaking. Okay, that's a lot of light, but need to drink more water. But you guys can see, I mean, this is bad. That's definitely not good. So the next thing is to loosen up the triple tree. Now, I have to get in there, remove that triple tree clamp. I have to remove the handlebars here, then the first triple tree. Have to remove this one, this bolt. Same thing on the other side, and then, like I just mentioned, the bolt down here, and you should be able to pull out the entire assembly without a problem. And then we'll go and get into how we're going to take all of this apart and put in new oil, put in the new rings, stuff like that. Okay guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the fork a little bit, the bottom half of it. You guys cannot believe how bad this is. Look at this. That's bad. I mean, I've had on the other bike my fork leak, but not like this. This is like, it's really bad. But check this out. I can also, just by applying a little bit of pressure, actually move the piston up and down some, which I can't move this shock whatsoever, but I can move this one. I mean, just a teeny tiny bit up by hand, which is already a bad sign. But anyway, so the next thing I'm going to do is we need to loosen this bolt and this bolt. I've already loosened this one some. I don't need to crack it open all the way, but please do be careful. Do not try to yank these off. Do not try to yank this back up. There is a bolt down here. So this is attached to the triple tree. So if you try and attempt to yank this off, you may end up breaking the screw. I'm gonna leave it on there because all I need to do is now loosen this bolt here to the triple tree, and I'm gonna have to remove the air vents for the air filter in order to get to the lower triple tree, because as you guys can see, I have everything here for the coolant, the cables, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna do that off camera, but righty tighty, lefty loosey. I think all of you guys can manage that. That's nothing special. Believe that is either a 4 or 6 millimeter Allen key, and yeah, I'm gonna loosen this off. I might as well mention that I am going to loosen up this part right here, just because it's clamped in to the triple tree right now, and I don't have to worry about putting it in the vise in order to loosen this bolt up top for the spring preload adjuster. I'm going to do the same thing on that one as soon as I get to this one, but I'm going to do this fork first because that's terrible. The other one's not leaking, but it's going to also get replaced. There's no point in doing one side and then riding a couple of months and finding that the other side is leaking. So here we go. As promised, I'm going to attempt to do this with camera in my hand. There we go. I mean, these are really not that tight. This one, like I said, already loosened. It's all that's left, and I think, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but right here is where the other bolt is. If I turn just like that, I may be able to do it with a small socket wrench or with a key. See if I can get there with a wrench. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to try and get that off with a wrench, but first things first, I have to loosen this one up. So in order to remove this bolt, not this bolt, but this preload cap, you're going to need a 27mm socket, at least on this bike, or a 27mm wrench, and then you just see if you can pop it loose. Now, I'm gonna try and be a little bit careful because I don't want this to collapse and have to catch my bike and pick it back up and have more damage to it, which I really don't want to damage this bike. I really like this piece of machinery, so I am going to do this probably off camera because I got no way of holding this camera and filming that at the same time. Or if I place it on the rear seat, then all you guys would see is the tank, and that'd be it, and that'd be stupid. So I'm gonna go attempt and do this myself. Rule is lefty loosey, righty tighty, so you guys know which way this works. Okay, I gave it a couple of slight taps, and so you can see alright, that's loose enough, I think. Yeah, we can see if we have, there it is. It's coming up. The seal's still in there, or the O-ring still slightly showing, but it's still in there, so don't have to worry about that. And let's see how I can get this out. Okay, now what you guys are going to need is a wrench like this. It's 14mm, and oh, okay, it's not even that tight. I guess that's a good thing. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this up some. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I need to bore you guys with the details on how to undo a bolt. I'm gonna loosen them up, and then we're gonna see about loosening this some more, and I'll set up the camera in order to show you guys how I remove it, the shock. Okay, all the bolts are loosened, and we should be now able to gently, there we go, there it goes, and it's out. Okay. And that's how you guys remove your front suspension.